What's going on? It's time to talk about a psychological thriller. I wouldn't classify this as a horror film, but yeah, some people do. It's called Deadfall Trail. It was released by Midnight Releasing sometime in 2009, starring Shane Dean, Kevin Gary Schneider, and Slade Hall. It was written by um, Josh Stammen and Candace Rose, and it was produced by Carrie Trulick and Robert Bedell, and is written, produced, and directed by Roz, who's also done films like Speak No Evil, Dead in Five Heartbeats, It Happened Again Last Night, and As I Am. So this is a psychological thriller of two friends or three friends, sorry, who go on a camping trip through the wilderness, and lo and behold, they slowly realize one of their friends is starting to go. There's something mentally wrong with them, and that kind of arguments happen, and some crazy stuff ends up happening where basically they have a dispute, and one of the friends actually goes and pretty much kills the guy, and and then they're lost in the woods and stuff. So um, the other friend that's with them doesn't want to be with them, but has no idea how to survive on his own, basically, and has to deal with them until the point where it breaks and things go a little more nutty and crazy. Yeah, that's pretty much the gist of it. It's a pretty straightforward film. It's not that bad. Like, the acting's pretty good. The cinematography is actually pretty good. I heard this film only has like $100,000 budget, which if it did, it has a pretty remarkable production value look to it, and it's definitely um on the more disturbing psychological side of a film than actually showing you it. It leads a lot to your imagination, but the acting's pretty well done. The writing is somewhat hit and miss in certain scenes, but yeah, it's definitely interesting. There's a scene where um, there's a lot of weird dream sequences in the film. Like one guy's making out with a girl in a pool of blood, ends up being a dude, and then he wakes up. Yeah, it's really weird. And then yeah, but it's all this like psychosis and stuff going on, and trying to um you're trying you're watching the one guy try to cope and figure out what's going on with himself, and seeing how the other people um coincide with it and stuff. It's actually a interesting little thing, because this is the type of film that might happen to somebody. You never know. Maybe not like the spiritual demon looking dreams and stuff like that that they throw in there, but for the most part, it's okay. I liked a lot of. There's not very much gore or anything like that, but when the confrontations and stuff happen, they really make it over dramatic and stuff, which makes it really amusing. But yeah, but for the most part, the problem with this film is the pacing of it. It is a slow burn, and I mean a slow burn. It felt like it was 2 hours, but it's only like an hour and a half. But yeah, it was still yes, and it takes a while for it to pick up. And when it does something interesting. It stops for a while, and then you get a lot of random banter that doesn't really matter, and yeah, so it takes a while for the story to progress and stuff, but that's typical with these type of films. But I didn't really get invested to too many of the characters. There's not a high kill count, and yeah, with these type of films to succeed, you kind of need to have good crafted characters to progress the story and to have people invested in it. Where, if, like in my case, like I was invested in one, and he was a weird killer dude, but yeah, and he turns cannibal or something like that, and it was just like random stuff, but it took so long for anything to happen. It was just a bore. Like, I was trying hard not to look at my phone or anything like that watching this. So yeah, that's the one big problem, big thing a film should not end up being, is boring. If you do that, then that's you missed the mark on what's the point of making the movie then. So yeah, Deadfall Trail is okay. I've seen way worse, but all in all, it's not the best film by far or anything like that. And it takes a while. And if you like psychological thrillers, like slow burn psychological thrillers, you might find this one somewhat interesting. But I think most people probably find it boring and turn it off. So, yeah. But with all that being said, I'm going to give Deadfall Trail a 1.5 out of 5. So, yeah, it's nothing really to gripe about or anything like that. Yeah, I can see why it's rated low as it is. So, yeah, there's a trailer link down below if you want to check it out and see what I'm talking about. And, yeah. Also, make sure you check out my Instagram. It's always linked down below where I always post clips of films I'm going to review in the future. All my story. I usually have the film title and hashtag and the subgenre of film and the hashtag, so make sure you follow me on Instagram. Stay in the loop. Like this video, share it so more people are aware of it. Comment your opinions of the film down below if you've seen it. Let me know what you thought and of it. And also, if you have any films that you want to hear my opinions on in the future, comment those down below. I'll try my best to get them as soon as I can, and if I can find them. And make sure you subscribe because you never know what I want to talk about next. I think I'm going to do like one more like slasher type film, but we'll see. And yeah, so make sure you subscribe. Watch out for all your psychotic friends in the woods when you guys go camping. And I guess I'll see you all in the next review. So cheers.